Self-care isn't just about bubble baths and supplements. It actually begins when you feel a sense of belonging. According to Harvard Health, actually, a strong sense of belonging is one of the top 5 predictors of long-term health and longevity. Welcome if you're new to my channel. My name is Dr. Steele. I'm a board-certified naturopathic doctor. I hold 7 degrees in my field, all in the natural healthcare space. I like to say that I went to school so you don't have to. And so we are in week 10 of Intro to Holistic Medicine, and we are talking all about community, all about belonging, all about relationships. And inside the holistic lifestyle community, you're not just a number, right? And that's really how I built my practice. I built my practice really wanting people to be seen, being heard, being supported through their healing process. And so I've done that now in a digital virtual space. So feel free to join one of our 4-week collectives to begin your self-care journey in the community, or if you want to take on, our Intro to Holistic Medicine track, feel free, be my guest. Okay, self-care is very much relational. And what I mean by that is that relationships really provide a sense of safety, connection, and purpose from the roots of self-worth and sustainable health. And so where do we begin that? We begin that sense of belonging with self. When you feel a sense of belonging and embodiment within your body, meaning that you feel comfortable in your body, you feel in love in your body, you feel happy in your body, you feel at peace in your body, that is just going to show throughout. So daily practices actually help to nourish that. So I know for myself, really tonifying my nervous system has been a game changer for me. Not to mention working through my inner child wounds, healing my inner child, working through my nervous system dysregulation issues, working on my self-talk, working on my boundaries. All of those things really went into me building not only my internal safety, but also my community safety as well. Because let's face it, if I don't feel safe within self, I cannot possibly feel safe within my outside world. So it all really begins with self. And so what is this idea of self? So let's talk about self-concept. Self-concept is greatly linked to your self-identity, right? Who you see yourself in the world. So we look at artists like, let's say, Madonna or Michael Jackson or Janet Jackson or any of those people, right, that we know, Cher, any of those people that we know and love. What do they all have in common? They change their identities so much. One day we saw, Thriller. The next day we saw, I can't think of anything off the top of my brain, but you know what I'm talking about. We got to see them transform from Vogue to Like a Virgin to all the things, right? And so when we saw these artists really shift their identity, we weren't really recognizing that they were also probably changing their self-concept, changing who they're around, changing their community, changing their support system. And so how can we do that in every day, right? We do that by, again, nurturing our nervous system. And so how I do that is through Kundalini Yoga. In my morning flow, I teach movement, meditation, journaling, and day planning. And in our meditation, I always use a Kundalini meditation. Why? Because Kundalini has an amazing way to tonify my nervous system and really to help me re-regulate, especially after years of complex trauma. My nervous system got so deregulated. Also, too, journaling helps me with my self-concept and my self-talk because unfortunately, I experienced a lot of verbal abuse and emotional abuse in growing up. And so having that sense of self and redefining who I am, tuning out what other people think of me because everybody's got an opinion, and really just focusing on myself has really been a game changer. And so when I began to focus on self and when I began to decide who I choose to be, remember, we're human beings having a human experience and we get to choose who we get to be. So I choose to be loving. I choose to be kind. I choose to be open. I choose to be supportive, right? But that doesn't mean, right, that I am a doormat, right? That doesn't mean that I choose to not have boundaries or I choose not to set up structures in place to keep myself safe. And so that's really where we take our self-concept that we've built. So we really want to start with our sense of self, who we want to be, how we want to feel, what the world is for us. And then what happens is that outside world begins to mirror. People begin to show up to support you, right? Because they match and mirror how you feel about yourself. So relationships can be an incredible tool, a painful tool, but an incredible tool for you to really see where you are with your self-concept, where you are with your love of self, where you are with liking liking self, where you are just with your sense of self and your sense of belonging. And so starting with self and starting with self-concept is where we begin our journey. And if you're interested, we have our 4-week collectives where you can deep dive into one particular topic, but we also have our holistic health coaching certification, which we begin with self-concept. Because if you don't know who you are, right, and who you be, and equally you don't know who you want to help, you're not going to be able to get any traction, right? So me understanding who I am and who I be and then who I can help has really been very, very instrumental in my career in holistic medicine. So let's go ahead and create some sense of belonging first within yourself and then outside of yourself with our community. Please feel free to join any of our free communities, the Holistic Lifestyle Community, Pure Black or Afro-Indigenous Community, or our holistic health coaching cohort if you're interested in taking your show on the road. So have an amazing day. And I'd love to hear from you more about your self-concept and who you choose to be today and every single day.